My name is Dan Giesling. I'm here in the Turtle Beach press room, sitting next to Ashley Johnson, who some of you are going to become very familiar with as Ellie in The Last of Us. Ashley, can you tell us about your experience in The Last of Us and what it's done for you and how you connected with that character?
Yeah, this is, I don't know if you should hold
No,
it.
we can make it really awkward.
This is my first video game, and it's motion capture. And I've done other stuff before and other cartoons, but my agent called and was like, "Hey, there's this video game. I don't know if you would be interested in doing that." And so I went out for the audition, and when I walked into the motion capture room, it's pretty crazy because it's a whole sound stage, and there are over 100 cameras that are, sort of set up around you, and you put on the motion capture suit that is absolutely ridiculous.
You tell me about that, because for those people that aren't familiar with motion capture suits, what are they like?
They're very tight, and you kind of have a sock on your head, and you have to be velcroed in. So once you're in there, you're in there for the day. But you get used to it, and it was just such an incredible experience beyond the suit. I worked on this for a little bit over 2 years, so I became very attached to it. And when it was over, I was sad, but at the same time, I can't wait for people to play it. And I've been playing it this week. It comes out on Friday, but they gave me an early copy, but only like a week early, and it's incredible. I am so proud of this game.
I'm really excited to play it, and the fact that you already have your hands on it, I'm really jealous. But let me ask you this: how did this role challenge you as an actress? Because you're on a green screen, you have to visualize all these things happening. How did that challenge you, and how did you get yourself to that point?
It was a challenge because I think since I've never had to wear a suit like that before, a lot of sort of getting into a part for me, one of the big things is kind of what you're wearing and the shoes you're wearing, because that sort of affects the way you walk and the way your body moves. And that was kind of the biggest challenge, was getting over that you're wearing this suit. But beyond that, Neil Druckmann, the creative director and writer, he's incredible. Every day we would come in and we would do a day of rehearsal before we would shoot, and he would show us all of the artwork and sort of the environment that we were going to be in for those scenes. And that's pretty much how we would prepare, because he's like, "Okay, you're going to be over here, and this is what's going to be here, and this is what you're going to see, and this is what's coming after you." And it was great.
So you got to, were they rendered? Was it like the 2D artwork? What did you get to see of the environment to help you get there?
Yeah, some of it, I'm trying to think. Sometimes a lot of the stuff was animated if we would have pickups, but mostly we would just see artwork that someone drew out, and which is insane because it was so beautiful. And that was pretty much what we had to work with mainly in the beginning, except if we had, pickups to do, and they had already, built a whole level. And then we'd go back and then be like, "Okay, now we can kind of play through this, and you can see what you're going through here," which was insane.
What was it like for the first time playing yourself as a character in a video game? Because you're a bit of a gamer yourself.
Yeah, it was really weird. Because I played it on Monday, which was when I started, and I got the copy, and I was like, "This is so strange," and so put it in, and it was so weird. I can't even tell you what because it's obviously she looks a little bit different than me, but I could tell that those were my body movements, and then I'm like, "Oh, that's the way I move. That's gross." And then it was just it was weird, but it was cool. I'm very attached to this character and the game, of course. So I feel super lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah, so you played this role for 2 years, and I have to ask you this question. First time you play the game and you fail, you die, or your character gets hurt. What does that feel like for you?
Yeah, playing it through as Joel. I've died a couple times, more than a couple times, just because it does take some adjustment, sort of learning how to deal with each creature and each person, like any other game. But yeah, I haven't Ellie hasn't been attacked too badly in the game, so I haven't. But I did have to record some like death screams, and so I'm like, I kind of want to hear those. Come
So
on, Ellie, just die.
self-sabotage. So I want to change gears here a little bit. Coming from the entertainment industry, how do you feel the entertainment industry views the video game world?
That's an interesting topic. Yeah, a lot of people sort of. I've heard a lot of people say like, "Oh, video games are finally catching up to movies now," and in some ways, I disagree. I feel like a lot of video games kind of far surpass um, what we see in movies because it's a completely different experience and it's completely submersive. And what you can do and what you see in a video game, I feel like you don't see that in a lot of movies. And I think especially now is a great time because I think like with what Neil Druckmann and what Naughty Dog has done with Uncharted, and not to toot Naughty Dog's horn, but I feel like a lot of people are upping what we can do in video games now, and I think people are going to start viewing them a little bit differently. At least I hope, and I feel like people judge video games very harshly if they don't play them, and I think if they played a lot of the good games, they'd be like, oh, okay, now I understand. But yeah, I don't know. I'm very pro games. So
Yeah, tell me about that. So this is obviously not your first experience in video games, playing video games. Can you tell me about your history as a gamer?
yeah, I mean, I obviously grew up. Not obviously, but yeah, I mean, I grew up playing video games. I have two older siblings. My brother and my sister both played growing up. So I think if you have brothers and sisters that are in that world, you kind of just pick that up too. But yeah, I grew up playing games, and so that's such a huge huge part of my life. And I'm not the most social person in the world, so I think probably that's because I play too many video games and I don't socialize with people. I don't even know why I'm saying this.
No, this is great. Tell us more about the games you play. What's your recent best gaming memory? We have those experiences that gamers share, like, oh, do you remember when this happened? And you share it with your friends. Can you tell me about that last moment for you?
Yeah, I mean, well, the last moment, of course, is playing The Last of Us because that's been super weird. But yeah, I mean, I play so many video games, and I actually, I just replayed Limbo recently, and because a friend of mine hadn't played it, and I forgot how beautiful that game was. The artwork in that game is absolutely stunning to me. But I think Portal is my favorite game of all time. I just love that game so much. I also play World of Warcraft.
I'm gonna get killed if I don't ask you what type of character you play and what race in World of Warcraft. I will get
question. I'm not gonna get into that.
okay.
But,
I'm gonna get killed just so you know because I can't get that out of me.
I know. So many people. Yeah, I've gotten into weird situations with that.
Understandable. I'll retract that question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love gaming, and I love that whole I just love that experience that you have with that, and it's that you have just hours and hours of entertainment, and I'm a huge fan.
So I'm not gonna lie, I did a little research, and a little birdie told me that you also play D&D. Are you ready to reveal that to the world right now? Can you tell me about that experience? You're amongst friends right now, Ashley.
Yes, I do play D&D. That's my dungeon master, Matthew Mercer. I think is the best dungeon master to ever live and grace the earth. Yeah, I love it. I love D&D, so I'm a fan.
Okay, next question.
Okay.
And I gotta get this answer from you. Your Twitter handle, the Vulcan Salute. Trekkie, explain that to me. Where does that come from?
I don't know. What's the Vulcan Salute? I just made it up randomly. No, yeah, I'm a Trekkie. I mean, my dad was a big Star Trek fan, and so was my mom. So I grew up with that too. So I don't know. I think when I first got on Twitter, it, it, it wasn't super popular. And you know when you have your handles, and I didn't know you should have put your name, and then because I didn't realize I didn't know what it was when I first signed up, and so I was like, "Moo, the Vulcan Salute," and then I haven't changed it just because my name's really boring. Like Ashley Johnson. I was like, really, mom and dad? Put like the two most common names together. Yeah, so I've just kept it and I haven't changed it. And
No, well, it revealed a lot that that we now know you're a Trekkie from your very unique Twitter handle. Okay, last question. Last question. In combining your worlds of entertainment and video games, what do you see changing? And now that I mean, this is a huge deal, in the video gaming industry and even beyond, playing this role that you are. How do you see that's going to impact you from here on out? And like when you tell your friends that I mean, this is a major role in a AAA video game. How have they reacted, and how do you think that's going to change things for you in the future?
my friends and my family have been so supportive, and because I mean, I come from a family of gamers, they're super excited about it too. But I think in particular with this character, with Ellie, um, I mean, I guess this is on a broader scale, but I feel like she's such a different character than you see in video games, with females at least. And that was one of the things we were talking about today. And Jennifer Hale has some amazing opinions on this, which I agree with. Where there are a lot more female characters that are coming up that are not there to just be sexy or be there for the love interest or just to be the token female. And I think that's going to change a lot. At least I hope it does in video games, because there's so many female gamers, and that's so important to have that. And that's something that I do hope, and I think is changing slowly. But in terms of my career with that, I don't know. I have some things coming up, but I would love to do another video game, and because I've had such an incredible time on this.
I have to ask, especially working with Naughty Dog, are we going to see you in a future big time Naughty Dog game, or are you going to say you can't talk?
I don't know. I don't think they have any plans, or what they're. I mean, I'm sure they have plans of what they're working on next, but yeah, I think they're still deciding on what their next project is.
Well, Ashley, thanks so much for your time. I'm really excited to play The Last of Us, coming out this Friday. And if you're tuning in, make sure to go to the Turtle Beach Facebook page for more up-to-date updates from E3 the rest of the week. Ashley, thank you so much.
Thank you.